There's a major injury scare surrounding Celtic captain Callum McGregor, and the news isn't good. Plus, Ali McCoist has just revealed the name he's hearing for our next manager. Celtic could face punishment after Sunday's Ibrox scenes, and we've got major updates on the title race. It's been a massive few days, but first make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic's search for a permanent manager goes on. Interim boss Martin O'Neill knocked Rangers out of cup competition for the second time this season when Celtic travelled to Ibrox at the weekend. 120 minutes of football weren't enough to separate the two, so penalties it was. Tavernier and Gassama missed theirs, allowing Celtic to book their trip to Hampden to face St Mirren. O'Neill will remain in the dugout until the end of the season, and then Celtic will look to make a permanent appointment. With Celtic still in the Scottish Cup and the title race so close, it's all to play for in the run-in. How Celtic get on now could help bring in a decent calibre of manager, especially if Champions League football is on offer. And Ali McCoist has revealed that there's one name he's heard that's linked with the job. Speaking to TalkSport Bet Casino, the former Ibrox man said, "I can see it being Roberto Martinez. There's an obvious connection there with Roberto. His wife is from the west of Scotland. I know that doesn't say a lot, other than they've been up there before and know the area. But no, the one I heard was Martinez. It certainly makes sense, especially with Sean Maloney already in Glasgow. He looks actively involved and even took the team talk before the penalty shootout at the weekend. Martinez is currently in charge of the Portuguese national team, but is expected to leave that post. After a stint with Belgium too, he could be looking to get a way back into club football." Now for the main story is, fans were shocked on Sunday lunchtime when they read the Celtic lineup to see that Callum McGregor wasn't even named in the squad. There was no indication in the build-up that the Celtic captain would be out for the match. He was pictured pitchside while the Celtic players warmed up, watching on with Kieran Tierney, who was also ruled out of the derby through injury. Martin O'Neill said that the captain was feeling sore after the Aberdeen game and had simply not recovered in time ahead of the derby at Ibrox. But former Celtic defender Charlie Mulgrew has shared his fear. He thinks that the 32-year-old is out with the same issue that was bugging him 2 years ago. He shared on his Breakdown podcast, "Apparently it's his Achilles. I don't know if that's the recurring injury from last year. Achilles is notoriously an overuse injury. I don't know how long he'll be out for, but knowing Cal, it wouldn't be a week or 10 days, I imagine. He wouldn't miss a quarter-final at Ibrox for that. I fear it could be a few weeks." It's a massive blow if Mulgrew is right. Celtic have survived a tough 4 matches that have seen them move to second in the league and progress to the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. The captain has played every single minute, and now the Hoops are preparing for the tough visit of Motherwell on Saturday. The Well are coming off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Dundee up at Dens Park, and will be looking to right the wrongs of that. Celtic know that they must go unbeaten until the end of the season if they are to retain their league title. In other news, the full-time scenes on Sunday are now under investigation by the SFA. It could take 2 weeks for them to conclude their inquiry into what happened and decide on any possible sanctions. A few Celtic fans had spilt onto the pitch, while it seemed like most of the Union Bears had made a charge from one end of the pitch to the other, just to run back when they realised the police presence. Sadly, there was a Celtic member of staff assaulted, and not for the first time at Ibrox. A lot have compared the scenes to 2016, when Rangers were beaten by Hibs. Again, their fans charged onto the pitch, yet Celtic fans are being tarred with the same brush here, and a former SFA chief exec believes that both sets of fans could be in for an away ban. Gordon Smith predicted on TalkSport, "They, Ultras, are not good fans in terms of what they are doing for their clubs. They are going to stop the club from having normal crowds. Going forward, we are going to see a situation where I think the SFA will step in and say there will be no away supporters at Rangers and Celtic games. The biggest problem officials have is, say in a year's time, if Celtic and Rangers get into a cup final against each other, what would they do there? What do you do if a Celtic and Rangers match at Hampden is half and half? It shouldn't come down to this, but it likely will. A very small group of fans from one side of the city will ruin the fixture for everyone. Having that full allocation back was superb, but that happening again in the near future doesn't seem realistic. Police Scotland has confirmed that there have been 9 arrests so far. In other news, Motherwell manager Jens Berthel Askew will bring his side to Celtic Park on Saturday, with a tension around him that goes beyond the game itself. The Dane has been mentioned in recent weeks as a possible future Celtic manager, which adds an interesting element to the game at Paradise. Celtic supporters will be far more focused on the 3 points. The title race remains tight, and matches at home now carry real pressure. Celtic Park has often been the place where momentum shifts in the closing months of a season, especially when the crowd senses the momentum building. Ascu's Motherwell side have earned respect for how they approach games. They play brave football and try to build attacks rather than simply sit deep. That attitude can make matches open, which usually suits Celtic at home where the pitch is wide and the tempo is high. His comments in recent days will undoubtedly grab headlines. Brendan Rodgers used a car comparison when discussing the limits of his Celtic squad earlier this season. Asco spoke about building a team in a similar way, though his point was about development rather than excuses. He said, "We haven't addressed the title hopes or driving in a very nice, undented car all the way up there. We will gladly take some dents here and there to make sure that we develop and build the car that will drive the fastest in the long run." For Celtic supporters, the message heading into the weekend is straightforward: get the win. The performance at Ibrox showed the team still has the mentality for these big moments. The Hoops spent long spells defending the box but still came through the cup tie. Saturday should look different. At Celtic Park, the home side usually controls the ball and pushes teams deep into their own half. That pressure tends to create chances, especially when the wingers can stretch the pitch and keep the tempo high. Ascu's name might keep appearing in talk about Celtic's future. This weekend is about what happens on the pitch now. When the team walks out at Celtic Park, the crowd will only want one thing from the players in green and white: 3 points. Lastly, Celtic return to Premiership action this weekend when Motherwell visits Celtic Park on Saturday, and former Hoops defender Greg Taylor believes the title race is still far from finished. Celtic sit 5 points behind Hearts with 9 matches left to play. That gap means the champions cannot afford many slip-ups in the run-in. Recent weeks have at least given Celtic momentum. The penalty shootout win at Ibrox in the Scottish Cup showed the team still has fight in it. The Hoops defended their box for long periods and stayed calm when the tie went to penalties. The squad is also dealing with injuries. Callum McGregor missed the derby through a calf issue, and Kieran Tierney has been managing a problem of his own. Taylor believes those absences matter, but expects the team to improve once key players return. He said, "I do still think Celtic have the quality to win the league. It will be difficult. There are 9 games to go, and Hearts are 6 points clear, so as time goes on, it becomes harder, and you probably have to put Hearts as favourites. But I still feel Celtic have a chance. Hopefully big players come back. You've got guys who have done it before. A few seasons back, we were behind Rangers, and James Forrest went on an unbelievable run and almost won us the league himself. You can see him finding form again. Ali Johnston will come back, and hopefully Callum McGregor and Kieran Tierney are back soon as well. I could be wrong, but there's still something there that tells me Celtic might have a right chance." Taylor's point about experience matters. A lot of players in this Celtic squad have been through tight title races before, so they understand how quickly things can change when the pressure builds late in the season. Matches like the one against Motherwell suddenly carry more weight. Drop points and the gap becomes harder to close. Win and the pressure shifts back onto Hearts. Celtic have shown recently that they can still get results even when the performance is not perfect. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.